He's got complete control of the blade. Complete control. Because he's not flipping it. He's not flipping it through impact. He's just guiding it. He's pushing it with the right, he's pulling it with the left, and he's guiding it. If he wants to turn it over a hair, or he wants to hold it open, whatever he wants to do, he can do it because he's not fighting the golf club. This is why Mo was so bloody accurate, okay? He's never fighting the golf course, or fighting the golf club rather. He's just
hitting it straight.
Yeah, and if as soon as the golf club starts pulling you, you've lost it. You have lost it. You've got to be pulling and pushing that golf club right through there, and as soon as your arms are extended, you're no longer in control. It's pulling you now out there, and so that's the magic. And the thing is that you can't. That's why your connection with the ground is so important, and that's why I'm talking about and going on and on about the secret in the dirt, because you can't make those moves if your critical leverage points in the ground are lost, and you're still transferring weight, you're still doing all of those different things,
and you do have areas to change things, and that's the beautiful part too, and still stay within with a template of what you should do with Hogan.
Yeah, there's very little you need to change. You know what? I think the hardest part about Hogan
is changing what you have.
Believing. Believing.
Well,
that's the hardest. Believing that what he's telling you in that book is it.
So is that why you're stripping down your swing to bring it back up?
What do you mean?
Well, that term was used quite a bit. You strip your swing down and then you bring it back up. If you take it away.
Oh, you add, and then you take away. Well, that's basically that's the way you learn everything, right? You add little things that you've picked up here or there or whatever. You try them out. You build them into your swing and all that. And sooner or later, you start to realize, as Hogan did, that there are just a small number of things that you have to learn to do and do well, and then you've got it. And by understanding that what's happening from your waist down is the engine and the motor and the governor and the thing that automates everything as well if you do it right. You can't go too far wrong. And the thing is that people think, oh, you know, he was a great athlete, okay, but you cannot say that it's not going to work because someone isn't as flexible as Ben Hogan, or someone isn't as
he might be a great athlete, but at 74 years old, he wasn't as great an athlete as somebody who was 30 years old at that time.
He was still hitting it great in that Coleman video. I think he hitting the balls into the ocean at George Coleman's, and I think he had to be 66 years old or something like that then, and he still had it all down. I mean, he was making great golf swings at that age. So the thing is that tells me that you don't need perfect flexibility. You don't need, even perfect health, because he had to be hurting at that stage in his, with the sore shoulder and sore knee and sore ankle and everything else.
Yeah, they didn't.
And there he is ripping
that.
Those shots out there, and you can still had the sound, but there's I went on the premise that I would look and try and find what Ben Hogan said. Read 5 lessons over and over and over again and study it. Look at the pictures. Go through every element of it, and then listen to what he said throughout the years, the quotes and everything else.
How it comes together.
And what I've come up with is the idea that the secret is in the dirt, or it's in the dirt, go dig it up for yourself. All these images of Hogan and dirt. And I came to the conclusion a long, long time ago that this was like a cryptic message. As if he's flipping you off, go, it's in the dirt, go find it. At the same time, he's actually telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went on that premise. And I'm going, what is it about the dirt? And then you find out, when he lost the playoff to Fleck in 1955 on the last hole. Now, he probably wouldn't have won that playoff anyways, because Fleck was leading going into the last hole. And Hogan tried to bomb it, but his right foot slipped and he hit a hook. And it's the one shot he hated. And when I figured out and thought, well, the cause of the hook was the right foot slipping, and he's got actually sent away to have special shoes made with an extra spike put right under the ball of the foot, in the right foot. And I started, and the secret is in the dirt. And all of these other things, I'm thinking, man, this guy's connection with the ground was bordering on sacred. This was, when you, what happens when the motor mounts go on your car? It wobbles all over the place. It turns into a pile of crap, basically. Now, that's like the connection has to be with the ground. That's your motor mounts. So your footwork and what you're doing and how you're using your legs, that's the secret. And you can motivate your hands in a lot of different ways and still get great results if you get this part right. Mm-hmm. If you get from the navel down right, and realize that it's your legs that motivate the hips to turn. Okay? You may think that it's your abs or whatever. Your abs do a lot. Your abs do a lot because they are connecting the hips to the shoulders. So when the hips go,
and the navel finish.
Right. When the hips go, then all of this other stuff is going to chase after the hips. Because you've got that tension.
I think this is your best video because it's really comprehensive and very precise on what you do.
Well, I hope people will get it, and I hope that they'll take it seriously, and not because I'm a serious guy, And I want to say something else too, because when we did this, and a lot of people have thought that I was a little bit flip about Mo and about Hogan.
No, I think one person was.
Well, I don't. I'm going to say this.
Because I know how you hold him, especially by all the stuff you have in your home about him.
If I hadn't have done this like this, if we hadn't have gone out there and just had some fun and taken this,
if you took it to I hate to say Golf Digest.
If this was a clinic, the only people that would see this and know about it and be interested in it are people that are interested in clinics. And I'm interested in everybody knowing about Ben Hogan and knowing about Mo Norman. And I'm interested, okay? I'm interested in hoping that the bloody Ben Hogan company is going to start making great golf clubs again, because I don't even know what's going on there. I mean, I use 1960 whatever golf clubs. I've got 57 precisions, and I've got percussions, and I've got plus ones and all that. The best golf clubs ever made in the history of the game had Ben Hogan's name on it, and I don't know what's even happening about that.
What about the shafts on those?
The old Apex shafts. He invented so much technology, and it was so far ahead of his time and everything. But anyway, I just want to say this. If we had gone out there and just, this hadn't have been like this, far fewer than the 250,000 views of that thread, and far fewer than 250,000 views at YouTube would have happened, and those people, a lot of them, would not have been exposed to Mo and Ben Hogan. And I am,
Your fundamental basics have always been...
When Ben Hogan died, my heart fell out of golf. That's the truth. That's the truth.